Overthinking. Why do we care so much? Why do we care so much? Why do I care so much? Why the hell do I care so much about what other people think? I have zero clue, and I spent this entire day trying to figure out this concept, and instead of trying to figure it out, I'm just gonna talk through it with you guys. Overthinking is when you allow your thoughts to get in a loop, and you allow your thoughts and you allow whatever's in your head to just keep looping and just going in circles until you make yourself crazy and you make yourself feel you have absolutely no control over what's going on in your head. Well, let me tell you one thing. Thoughts are like clouds, and this is something that I forgot. This is a concept that I completely just blacked the hell out on for whatever reason, but I need to stop overthinking about the concept of overthinking itself, and we're going to talk about it. Thoughts are just like clouds, right? And thoughts are up in the sky. Just like clouds, they're going to stay, sometimes they're going to change, but the only thing that you have to remember, and the one thing that you have to remember about thoughts that are the same as clouds, is that they always pass over. They always pass over. They always pass over. They will never, ever be the same. They will never be the same. The same thought that you're thinking right now will not be the same thought that you think in 5 minutes. It will not be the same thought that you will think tomorrow. And you can say that it is, but really it's just another reiteration of the thought, or you got that one thought into an even deeper thought that just got you going into this big cycle and this cycle and this cycle and this cycle. And overthinking is when you're stuck in your thoughts and you're in this loop. You're in this loop, and it's this cycle of thoughts that you literally are just running on a merry-go-round, just going in circles and circles and circles and not allowing yourself to stop. You literally make yourself dizzy until you make yourself feel like you're sick. And it makes me sick to the stomach, because so many times in my life and so many days throughout my life do I spend just up here and up in my head and overthinking. When we think about our thoughts and we think about, okay, for example, what does this person think about me? How does this person feel about me when I'm being myself? Or how does this person feel about, what I'm doing? Every single time that I overthink and every single time that I'm thinking about those things, at the end of the day, they don't really matter. We make them matter, and we make our thoughts more important than they actually are. We make what's up in our heads more important than it actually is. And a lot of the times we worry about things that don't even really matter. We worry about things and we create worries in our heads that don't really have that big of an effect on our life. One thing that I just saw in a video that I'm going to just say to you guys is, think about how much will this one thing matter when I'm 90? How much will this one thing matter when I'm 100? How much will this one thing matter when I'm, I don't know, dead? And honestly, that might be harsh to some people, but I don't really care, because it's the truth. Nothing is really going to matter. Nothing is really going to be that big of a deal, and nothing is really gonna hurt you at the end of the day. Your thoughts and your brain is causing you to go insane more than other people. We think that other people hurt us, but really we hurt ourselves. We think that other people and what other people think is really gonna hurt us, but really it's us caring about what they think. Now, how do you stop caring about what people think? It's not that easy, and honestly, you shouldn't just stop caring what people think altogether, because what does that make you? That kind of makes you narcissistic in one way, because then you're only just being selfish. You're only caring about yourself. You're not thinking about other people, To an extent, we have to care about what people think, but you have to care about what you think more. The perception that you have of yourself is always going to be stronger than the perception that other people have of you. The perception that you have of yourself is always going to be stronger than the perception that other people have of you. So if you're thinking about something and you're thinking for example, this car is revving up right in fucking front of me. This car is revving up right in front of me. If I let this thought control me, I will be allowing myself to be consumed in my thought. I will be allowing myself to be consumed in my thought, and that thought didn't come out of nowhere, but it did. It came from the external world. It came from the outside world. Why do we let things that are outside of us control what's inside of us? That car doesn't control my life. That car doesn't control if this video is going to stop or not. That's not controlling what's happening inside of me. I control what happens inside of me. But what we forget is that our thoughts do not control us. We control them. You have to think about your thoughts, and you have to think about overthinking in the sense of, you are not your thoughts. You are just the observer of them. You're not your thoughts. You're just the observer of your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You are just the observer of your thoughts. And myself, I need to stop letting things outside of me affect me. You need to stop letting your external environment affect your internal being. Because every single time that you do that, it's like, why follow? Okay, so are you gonna be yourself? Are you gonna be yourself? Let's just say you're in an airport and you're moving and everybody's going in this other direction and you're like, well, I don't really think that's the right path, but everybody's following that crowd. Are you gonna follow your own path, or are you gonna follow a crowd going in the wrong direction? Are you gonna follow your own path, or are you gonna follow a crowd going into the wrong direction? You make that choice. You make that decision. But the one decision that I'm going to make today, and the one decision that you need to make right now, is not letting people outside of you and your external environment affect your internal being, affect what's in here, affect who you are, and affect how you're being. You cannot let your thoughts, you cannot let anything around you, you cannot let people around you affect who you are. Do not let your external environment affect your internal being. Stop overthinking. It's Will Armani.